Picking a specialty for residency sucks because it takes a lot of time and effort if you do it the right way. It took me months upon months to try to figure out exactly what kind of specialty I wanted to. And then I narrowed it down to about 2. And it took me a couple of months more to differentiate between the 2. I figured I'm going to make a video on how to select your specialty to kind of make things a little bit easier for you and to kind of give you guys a leg up. What's up, guys? My name is Dr. Safo Asante. I'm the successful IMG. Successful because I matched, and I'm here so that you can as well. This video is going to be straightforward. We're just going to talk about the different things that will help you select a specialty that you will be happy with in the future. Are you having a hard time getting into residency? Have you applied multiple times and not made it and not even gotten a single interview, and you don't know exactly where it is that you went wrong? Has this happened to you? If it has, you probably need some mentorship. I still have some slots available for my mentorship program. Like I said, I'm not doing any more personal statements unless it's included within my mentorship program. If you don't want the full mentorship, I'm also doing interview prep. So if you're getting a lot of interviews and you need to make sure that you cinch your interview, contact me for interview preparation. And I have noticed that a lot of people go into their residency interviews. When I was interviewing, a lot of people just came in, and I was just thinking to myself, my God, I over prepared for this thing. These guys suck. I'm pretty sure I blew them out of the water when it came to interviews. So if you want any help with interviewing by itself, contact me. Selecting a specialty, like I said before, is a painful thing. But once you've gotten the specialty that you are going to apply to and you've actually thought about it, it's very fulfilling. Once I came up with my final decision, I just felt so good. I felt really good about it, and I still do feel good about it after finishing residency. One of the things that you should think about is when you first thought about becoming a doctor, what specialty did you have in mind, or what specialty was the spark to make you become a doctor? That might not necessarily be the specialty that you will be happiest in, but at least it gives you some sort of direction to which area you want to go into. The second thing is exposure. So you want to get exposure to the specialty. You want to get exposure to the people that practice in the specialty, and you want to see what a regular day-to-day is like. A lot of times we have certain preconceived ideas of what a specialty will be like, and then when you actually go into the specialty and actually rotate through it and work with a doctor that's doing it or speak to a doctor that's doing it, you actually see that you actually like it. I didn't think I would like pediatrics. I love kids, but they're little monsters. But I love them, right? But I didn't think that I would have the patience to work with kids. But when I did my pediatric rotation, I really enjoyed it. You have to have exposure, and not only exposure, you want to speak to an attendant to see what their thoughts are on the specialty and what their regular day-to-day life is like. Next thing is weeding out the things that you don't like. So we've all been on certain rotations, and we just knew that we would never ever practice a specialty. Never ever practice a specialty. And that's good to know, because you are able to weed out some specialties, and it makes your choice of selecting residency specialty a lot easier. Now, this is not saying that if you had a bad rotation, the residents were horrible, the attendant was horrible, doesn't mean that the specialty itself is going to be horrible. For me, that was radiology. Nothing to do with their tendon, nothing to do with how it was structured. I just can't see myself practicing radiology. You have done everything that I asked you to do. Everything that I mentioned, you're still not making any headway. We are just going to have to take it to the fundamental level. Do you like direct patient contact, or don't you like direct patient contact? If you don't like direct patient contact, as in like you don't like the regular interaction with the patients and that annoys you, then you can think about specialties like pathology, radiology. Now, I'm not saying that if you practice one of those specialties, you can't stand people. I'm not saying that. But it would make you happier if you just dealt with the work that you're doing versus interacting with patients. Now, direct contact patients specialties are all the other specialties other than pathology and radiology. If you like direct patient contact, do you like to do a lot of procedures? Are you very good with your hands? You like doing a lot of procedures? Or you don't want to do any procedures? You just want to see the patient, speak to them, diagnose them, and manage whatever you find. If you want to do a lot of procedures, you're thinking about surgical specialties, and if you don't want to do a lot of procedures, you're thinking about neurology. Each of these specialties have some procedures, but they don't have as many procedures as in surgical specialties. So I'm not saying they're none whatsoever, but they have fewer procedures, and if you don't want to do any procedures, you don't have to do any procedures. So specialties like family medicine, internal medicine, neurology, they're not procedure heavy as surgical specialties. Next is the lifestyle that you want to live. You have to think about the lifestyle that you want to live when you start working. I've come across two different phrases that I thought described things very well when you're thinking about lifestyle. There's some people that work to live, and there's some people that live to work. If you're a person that works to live, it means that you want more time to yourself, more time for you and your family. So if you're the kind of person that has a family, if you're the kind of person that values the time off so that you can do other things, hobbies, take care of family, then you want to think about those specialties where you don't have to put in long hours every day, or you don't have to be in the hospital almost every day of the week. Specialties like dermatology, where you're working 9 to 5, specialties like radiology and pathology, where you're working 9 to 5 and you can leave right on time. Now, if you live to work, then you have a whole bunch of specialties available to you, and like surgery, that all these time-intensive specialties that you can do. So you're basically not limited in the kinds of things that you want to do. So think to yourself, if you are the kind of person that works to live, or you're the kind of person that lives to work. The next two things I'm going to talk about are important because they limit you as to where you can go specialty wise. The first one of these two is the scores that you get in your STEP exams. So I've said before, and I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it, is that if you're a medical student and you still haven't taken your STEP exams, the best thing you can do for yourself is to make sure that you study well, get great scores in your Step 1 and your Step 2 CK, so that you can have options of many different specialties. Different specialties have different thresholds or ranges of scores which to take from. So let's say plastic surgery. This is off the top of my head. Plastic surgery takes people with scores upwards of like 240s and 250s. So if your score is like a 201 in step 1, 205 in step 2 CK, don't waste your time applying to that. That's a waste of time. Don't waste your time applying to surgery. That's a waste of time. That's my thought. The scores that you get in your step 1, step 2 CK are very important and determine which direction and kind of put a limit on the kind of specialties that you can get. So this is more for the ones that are watching this that haven't taken a step 1 or step 2 CK. Please make sure that you study very hard and you do well in your step 1 and step 2 CK exams. There are tons of videos on YouTube by people that have scored 260s and up, 250s and up. Watch those videos, get the best score that you can so you don't limit yourself. The second thing that can put a limit on what specialty that you're going to go into is not necessarily your scores, but it's your skills. If you're going to do surgery, you have to be good with your hands. You have to be able to visualize the anatomy of the body. If you're terrible with anatomy, if you're complete klutz, if you're terrible at procedures, especially surgical procedures, it just doesn't make any sense for you to try to go into surgery, because you're going to fail out. Hopefully with these things that I've mentioned, you are able to get some sort of idea as to what specialty that you want to get into. So how did I come up with the specialty that I decided to go into? I started out with the vision that I had of a doctor when I was a child. The kind of doctor that I wanted to be as a child was a doctor that had direct patient contact, that was a part of the community, and basically took care of everybody in the community. I was exposed to different specialties, and I liked a lot of different specialties. I liked pediatrics, which initially I didn't think I would like as much, because kids can be annoying sometimes, but I love taking care of kids. I also liked my OB rotation. I also enjoyed family medicine as a whole. After my exposure to these things, I thought about the specialties that I did not. Specialties like radiology, I couldn't do that. Pathology, I just could not do that. I hate histology. Surgery, I just couldn't see myself doing surgery, put in the hours. ER, I couldn't see myself doing ER. So after I had figured out the things that I wanted to do as a child, the things that I enjoyed doing during my rotations, the things that I couldn't see myself doing, I narrowed everything down to 2, family medicine and internal. But after I figured out that I like working with kids, family medicine came to the forefront. I hope that if you guys use this method that I have told you about, or these tips and hints that I've given you, that you will also get to the point where you pick a specialty that you feel is for you. I haven't hounded you guys about liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, the whole video. So you know what you have to do, guys. Flex those fingers, go below the video, hit the like button, make sure it turns blue, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that you can be notified anytime I release a video, and so that you can help me beat the YouTube algorithm. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you guys match. And if you have any questions, my email is down below. Best of luck. Dr. Safo Asante, out.